How's it going, everybody? You got the Razman coming at you here with another video. It is time to talk WWE Night of Champions 2015 today on the Razman's Reality. Boy, what a solid pay-per-view this was. The match of the evening that set the tone was a good match, in my opinion, to kick off the show. A great way to get the crowd hot right from the very beginning. It was the Intercontinental Championship match. Ryback. Ryback getting the crowd hot. Have you lost your mind? No. Because least we forget who Ryback's challenger was last evening. It was Mr. KO, Kevin Owens, who ends up capturing the Intercontinental Championship for the first time in his WWE career. His first title on the quote-unquote main roster, but we all know how we all feel about NXT, so we're not going to belittle NXT any. But nonetheless, Kevin Owens, the new Intercontinental Champion. Great way to start the night. Loved every second of it. Kevin Owens did what he could, considering who he was in there with. Hopefully he moves on to a better opponent very, very soon. Ryback should get a rematch clause out of the way tonight on Raw, in my opinion. Next up, it is the soap opera feud of Dolph Ziggler and Rusev, and Summer Rae continues to play the middle while Lana's home with a broken hand, blah blah blah. In the end, Summer Rae throws her shoe out of frustration from being thrown out of the match, and in the process of throwing her shoe, hits Rusev and quote-unquote cost Rusev the match. Dolph Ziggler finally gets the clean victory over Rusev, so hopefully this whole mess between Ziggler and Rusev is over, and then when Lana comes back, Lana can get back with Rusev or, do something better than what she's been doing, because they really screwed up all the momentum that she had. And even though I'm not a big fan of Rusev's character anyway, period, he is a good athlete, he is a good wrestler, and I think he somewhat looks weaker without Lana. So it almost makes sense to put them back together, despite how much the crowd wants to be behind Lana. Maybe there's a way to get the crowd behind Rusev somehow. I don't know how, because he is a foreigner, and he is who he plays as a character, and that type of character just does not work. It feels, I've always said this about Rusev, it feels like it's something from the 1980s instead of 2015. So I don't really know how you fix it. I just know it needs to be fixed. But hopefully we've seen the end of Dolph Ziggler and Rusev, because I could care less. I don't think anybody else cares anymore either. Tag Team Championship, the New Day retains over the Dudleys in what my opinion was the surprise of the night, but maybe it wasn't a surprise because they do have the 3-on-2 advantage, so I expect the Dudleys to get a rematch very, very soon, and I expect Spike to come back, if just for a one-off, to counteract New Day, and then the Dudleys will get reign number 10 and go into the Hall of Fame where they belong, or maybe they'll stick around and be Tag Team Champions and elevate the Tag Team Championship for a while. They can still go, so I have no problem either way, but I don't expect the whole back and forth thing between New Day and the Dudleys to last very long. I expect Dudleys to be champions come Hell in the Cell at the very latest. The 6-man tag team match. But right before we get to this match, we see a vignette for upcoming this month on WWE Network. It is Brock Lesnar's Go to Hell tour. He's got the match with the big show at the special Madison Square Garden televised event on the network. And then he's got an appearance on Stone Cold's podcast, which is going to be amazing. Brock Lesnar on Stone Cold's podcast. I cannot freaking wait to see that, let me tell you. And then the main event for Hell in a Cell has already been announced. The rubber match, the concluding the only way it can. Undertaker versus Lesnar 3 inside Hell in a Cell. So that was awesome of an announcement. That was an awesome thing to hear, that announcement, sorry. So awesome way to carry momentum into this 6-man tag. Like, how are they going to make you care about this 6-man tag? We've seen the Wyatts versus the Shield so many times. It was all hinging on this mystery tag team partner for Reigns and Ambrose, who is rumored to be Baron Corbin, which I told anybody who would listen to me on Skype and on social media, I said, that's a huge mistake. Don't bring up Baron Corbin. The crowd is not behind Baron Corbin right now with the character he's playing in NXT of, oh, I didn't need to pay my dues because I'm already a great athlete. Like, it just would not have made sense to team him up with the faces of this match. So what do? Break the walls down! Yeah, needless to say, I went absolutely ape crap crazy for this. I loved it. Y2J came back on a televised event. Of course, he's been doing house shows, but we haven't seen him on TV besides Tough Enough, except for the Tokyo event a couple of months ago with Brock Lesnar headlining that of course was on the network, and that's of course where Finn Balor took the NXT championship from Kevin Owens. So we hadn't seen him on TV since, and it wasn't a quote-unquote pay-per-view event. Well, it was, but it wasn't. It was a very weird thing. I think the Madison Square Garden event's going to be much like that. But anyway, it was so great and so unexpected to see the countdown come, to see Jericho walk out. He still looked great. Unfortunately, he does the job in a submission hold to Braun Strowman, and he walked away from Reigns and Ambrose. Now, people say, did he turn heel then? Or are we going to see a feud between Jericho, Reigns, and Ambrose? I don't think that was the case. It was clearly a case of Jericho gets caught up in the moment. He wants to be the one to get the pin. He wants more action in the match. He blind tagged himself in at a point in time when Roman Reigns had the match wrapped up with the spear. So it's clearly just frustration from him from costing Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns their moment of triumph. So unfortunately, I think we're going to get one more Hell in a Cell match. Maybe that's when they bring up Corbin, although I think that's a huge mistake to bring up Corbin and put him in that spot. You should have that spot with Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. Like, that's the hard thing to figure out right now, is like who in NXT is that guy. I would almost say Tyler Breeze, but his gimmick completely doesn't work. Finn Balor, they're not going to bring him up when he holds the NXT title. At least I don't think they will, because it would devalue the momentum that Kevin Owens had from being the first guy to do that. So, I don't know. I mean, who do you guys think needs to be that guy? Sami Zayn would be awesome to be that guy, but I don't think he's healthy enough to be that guy. So, who do you want to be that guy in that spot? I will pose that question to you because I have to think some more about it, and I have to sort of evaluate how they build up to that rematch that's inevitably going to happen at Hell in a Cell before I can answer that. But yeah, it was great seeing Chris Jericho again. Then we had the Divas Championship match, and finally the Divas division is done with Flair, Charlotte Flair capturing the first ever Divas Championship of her career. I want so badly for her to get rid of that ridiculous Divas title, to get rid of the lineage with the Divas title. They've knocked AJ Lee out of the record books with Nikki Bella, which is all they needed to do to satisfy their own egos and get AJ Lee and her being scorned at her out of their minds. So they don't need the Divas Championship anymore, especially with this Divas Revolution angle with so many talented wrestlers, with a Paige, with a Charlotte, with a Becky Lynch, with a Nikki Bella, who, like it or not, has gotten so much better, with a Bayley coming up very soon, with a Sasha Banks. You know, the whole Divas landscape has changed. Women's wrestling matters in WWE again now, thanks to Triple H. We even got a member of our wrestling community, now a part of WWE. Chick Kick has been signed to WWE, which is tremendous. I love it. So we have got to see some prestige handled to that championship. Having Charlotte hold it was the first step. Really solid match between her and Nikki. Nikki played the heel tremendously, you know, dominate the way the heel does, taking every shortcut the way the heel does, and then have the face overcome the quote-unquote bad leg and the quote-unquote injury. Everything was done right in the match for Charlotte to capture her first Divas Championship. But tonight on Raw, she needs to come out and talk about her history, talk about her lineage, talk about her dad, talk about what she wants to do with this women's division, what Paige wants to do, what Becky Lynch wants to do, what Sasha wants to do, what Naomi wants to do, what all these divas want to do. And they can call themselves divas still. If WWE likes that term, wants to use that term, that's fine. But she needs to bring back the WWE Women's Championship. Tonight is the night that Charlotte unveils that title and the Divas title disappears. Please, for the love of God, WWE, don't screw this up. Because it's a while before we can see the Four Horsewomen reunite. They're slowly building toward Paige. His heel turn, like I called a couple of months ago. She's less and less enthused, especially now that Charlotte has the Divas Championship, not her. But they've got to find a way to get Sasha Banks away from Team Bad in a way that makes sense. Once they can do that, then Bayley can get her call up, and we can see the Four Horsewomen in NXT maybe going up against a new version of Team Bad with Paige replacing Sasha on Team Bad. Maybe that's the way they go, but that's where they're going eventually. But it all needs to start tonight with Charlotte bringing back that WWE Women's Championship. It must happen, WWE. Make it happen. I don't even care if you do something annoying like have Stephanie McMahon take credit for it. Like, I seriously don't even care. Just for the love of all that is holy, bring back the Women's Championship. Then the double main event happens. John Cena, to nobody's surprise, defeating Seth Rollins to recapture the United States Championship. I would love to see one more match between Owens and Cena to unify the mid-card titles. You don't need two mid-card titles, especially the way that the mid-card title has been elevated by John Cena this year. You don't need two mid-card championships, you know. I don't care if you're a Cena hater or not. He has elevated guys this year. I mean, the facts are facts. So because of him and what he chose to do with the U.S. title and putting young guys over, if he hadn't have made Kevin Owens as strong as he was, Kevin Owens would not be the Intercontinental Champion right now. So it just makes complete sense. Have those two have one more match, champion versus champion, one more time. This time to unify the Intercontinental and United States Heavyweight Championship, and then let Kevin Owens carry the mid-card like he should. That's what I want to see. Does it happen tonight on Raw? Probably not. Does it happen at Hell in a Cell? I hope it does. I hope that's where they're going with this. But they have to get Ryback out of the way first, like I said. But to nobody's surprise, Cena retains the championship, and then to nobody's surprise, Seth Rollins regains the championship, and then to nobody's surprise, Seth Rollins retains, got ahead of myself there, but Rollins retains the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Sting. Sting looked amazing in this match. This is why I'm a Sting fan. This is why I've always been a Sting fan. I loved everything about this match. He just looked amazing. He is ready for that match with Undertaker at WrestleMania 32. Please, for the love of God, WWE, make that happen. Make it happen. Let Sting have a couple more matches leading up to it. I mean, he's clearly in shape. He belongs more consistently on WWE television after that match. Great match. Rollins retains the title. And then we all thought, because they've been teasing it so much, and they even had him come out, we thought, okay, Sheamus cashes in here, but he got no reaction from the crowd. Nobody cared. And then the Demon Kane comes back. Kane comes back with his mask on. Pretty cool to see, but again, just so anticlimactic, because even though he's been gone a long while and it was a slow build to it, they've done the flip-flopping between the mask and without the mask so much now that it really loses all luster. But we're going to get one match at Hell in a Cell with Kane and Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Maybe then Kane retires with Undertaker. Maybe they face the Dudleys for the tag team titles. I would love to see that. But in any case, we're going to get that one-off match between Kane and Rollins now for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, which is perfectly fine. But an unexpected kind of way to end the pay-per-view. So all in all, very, very solid. I'm actually not done talking about the pay-per-view, if you can imagine that, despite how long I've rambled on here. This is one of my longer reviews because I had so much to say about Chris Jericho and about Charlotte in particular. But I'm not done, because I'm going to be hanging out with my buddy Jamie Calloway, Rotisserie Jamie, tonight on her channel. We're going to do a Night of Champions Google Plus hangout review. She gets home around 6:30 Eastern, so it'll be sometime after that. So if you're not subscribed to her channel, I just put the card right there in the video. Make sure you go and do that if you want some more of me, or you just want to see Jamie, because Jamie's opinions are always awesome. So with that, let me know what you thought of the pay-per-view. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.
And he said